video. So I'm doing it in the car to start with because it's currently 28 degrees outside and I'm warm. So today, training with an injury, do's and don'ts. I also need to plug you in. Nah, 20%. Well, I get this video done before 20% is up. So, training with an injury, do's and don'ts. So, we all know somebody that has had or is having an injury in the gym, trying to train around it. And the training is always slightly worse, or they're repping out more, or they're not telling you. But I find how you handle an injury can help with the injury. How you handle it can help with the injury. But it's down to a few points. So, currently, am I injured? No. Have I been injured recently? Yes. So, 4 months ago, pulled my back deadlifting. So, I did 250 triple, and on the third one, you can see on the video, I shifted forward. I lost a bit of tightness in the hole and tipped forward, pulled my back, and if I was to tell you that it was awful, it was awful. It was proper bad. It's the worst back injury I've had. My whole back went guarded and I couldn't move. I was walking like bent over. It was really nasty. Sleeping on the bedroom floor for 4 nights because the softness of the mattress was too much. So, yes, I have been injured. Currently, no. Currently, smashing it. So, the first thing is the analysis. So, if you're injured, what were you doing at the point of getting injured? Probably deadlifts for 90% of the population, because everyone's deadlift form is sometimes shocking. What were you doing that made it hurt? Was it a specific movement that triggered it? If you do that specific movement again, does it still hurt? That's the most important thing. Finding out what you've done to injure yourself, so therefore you don't get injured again. That's important. The second one is the recovery aspect of this. So the recovery aspect can start literally as soon as you've pulled the muscle. So if you've pulled the muscle in the gym and you don't have to wait till you get home, you can ice it. You can start with the DP and all that kind of stuff. That's not going to help it recover, but that's going to help. If you've pulled something or if you've torn something, the degree of recovery and what you do depicts on what you've done. If you've just tweaked something, a couple of days and you'll be back to normal. If you've pulled a muscle, then you have to go about it differently. Tweak a muscle, pull a muscle, tear a muscle. The recovery aspect of what you do straight away is completely different. Tear a muscle, straight to A&E. Pull a muscle, maybe A&E, maybe home care. If you've tweaked the muscle, you can probably continue with the whole of your session and just get on with it. Move positions. It's really sunny today, so I'm trying to get you in position so therefore you don't get glare. So the recovery, I find the earlier you start the recovery, the better it will be for you. But knowing what to do, 90% of the gyms will have some kind of cold compress. You used to have them at the Dome, like a little envelope sized thing that you, I think, what did you do? Did you pop it? Did you crack it? And a chemical reaction makes it cold. You put it on your skin. That can help recover it. Massagers, chiropractor, they're also good things to not only minimize an injury. I used to go to a chiropractor. I've not been for one since COVID. I am going to go back. But I used to have a butt wink really bad on squats. Like, I used to get to the bottom and butt wink really bad. Used to get sciatica really often. So only when I went to the chiropractor and I realised that's what I was doing, I stopped that. I haven't had sciatica since. I had sciatica once stepping out of the shower. I got it for 6 weeks. It was chronically bad. Numbed down my whole left leg. It was bad, and it's only going to the chiropractor that's made me realise, like, if I turn you there, on my screen, top left hand corner here, you get a right glow from something, and I don't know what it is. I want to make sure that so that's why I've tilted it slightly, and then it goes for some unknown reason. But yeah, chiropractor, massage. I don't have massages as much as I probably should, and that's down to the monetary aspect of it. They're not expensive, but they're not cheap. You could spend that on food. If I was sponsored or I had a way of getting them, I would definitely do them, and definitely do them more often. They are. If you look at all the top athletes in the field, they will have regular massages. Like massage maybe at least once a week, chiropractor once a week. But if you're not having to pay for it, then there's a completely different thing to that, isn't there? If you're not having to pay for it, then there's not an issue. If you're having to pay for it out of your normal wage, as well as food, eat, train, it's not cheap. Also, stick around, because there's a little competition at the end of this to win a shaker. This is a little test to see how far people are actually watching my videos. Other aspect to a recovery is don't rush the recovery. If it's bad, there's no quick fix. If you have torn a muscle, there is no quick fix or thing you can buy or thing you can do or thing you can pay someone to do to you that's going to make the recovery quicker. If you're told it's a 6 to 12 weeks recovery, pretty much, unless you're like got ties or got, like Matt does fitness, as recently, I say recently, it's like 4 months ago, ruptured his Achilles. He's now back squatting. Now arguably that's probably the fastest I've known someone get. Like 3 weeks after his operation, he was load bearing on it. If that was an average Joe, and if I didn't have the ties to the best physio in London, the best surgeon in Liverpool, in London, I didn't have the money to pay for that, I would not be recovered as quick. If I had to rely on A&E and the NHS is amazing, but I wouldn't have been fixed as quick. If it says it's going to take that long, don't try and rush it, because I know people that have been injured in the past and rushed it, and because they've rushed it, they've then made it worse, and they've actually, their 6 to 12 weeks has become 14 to 18 weeks. The next one, and this is, don't get injured in the first place. Now people might think that's the most stupid saying you've ever said. Probably, but form is very important when you're when you look at movements, compound movements where you are 60 kilo on a bar can hurt you in the wrong, treating it wrong. If your form to start with when you start training is already pants, and then you add more weight to it, it's just, sort your form out first and the weight will come. If you're one of them that wants to come in for the first time and deadlift and you want to pull 240, no matter what the form looks like, no matter how your spine looks, then you're just going to be hit with injury. So you sort your form out first, which therefore means most people, when they get injured through bad form. I understand that there is other bad luck, genetical defects, like a weak back can also mean that you will get injured, but most of the time it's bad form. Sort your form out, and I'm not sitting here and saying that my form is amazing and everything, but I feel my form is better than the average Joe. Sort your form out, and you are 10%. We've lost 10% already, and you will sort it out. The other big thing to this is, and this is coming back to me, I can plug you in now you're down here. And this is a big thing. Are you in charge? Do I need to turn you on? Hey! So this is, I apologise for the car noise. You might not be able to hear it, but you might. I'll go from my perspective. Deadlifts, lost my confidence on deadlifts. I'm still moving relatively good weight, but I've lost my confidence on deadlifts. So I find that recovery has two aspects. It's the physical aspect of recovering from the injury, the torn muscle, the pulled muscle, anything like that. Put you back on this. And then I can hold you like that. Is the physical aspect of recovering. So if you're pulling a muscle, repairing that muscle, repairing the tear or the whatever you've done to it. But I also feel that there is a massive mental aspect to this. Going to pull that heavy weight when in the back of your mind you're thinking, is this going to go like Matt does fitness? Big respect to the fact that he's squatting what he's squatting after the injury he's been through, which is probably a torn Achilles, is probably one of the worst injuries in lifting you can probably do, apart from break your back. That is like the worst injury you can do, and he's now squatting. So that's such a mental, physical strength, because lifting is mental and physical at the same time. Having the strength to just go under the bar and get it, having the strength for me to walk up to a deadlift and just pull it, knowing that I probably will never get injured like that again. But in the back of my mind's going, well, you don't want to, because I don't want to, because it was fucking awful. It was awful. My back was so tight, and props to the lady won't be watching this, but the lady that actually gave me a sports massage in Armthorpe proper helped. She was going on holiday that night, and she managed to fit me in for a massage, because my normal masseuse was competing. So yeah, it's mental aspect. I'm really struggling with that at the moment. I'm really struggling to walk up to a deadlift and pull it. Now this is because I'm doing everything beltless. Now my top lifts have all been beltless. Might be time for deadlifts to put the belt back on. Might be time. It stopped recording for some reason. It might be time to put the belt back on for deadlifts. But yeah, that's my injuries, do's and don'ts. That's how I recover. Don't get injured in the first place, and if you do, listen to the professionals, because everyone knows best. Even when the professional that's talking to you has been doing it for years. No, you're 12 weeks. Nah, I'll be back squatting in 4, and then they get back squatting in 4, and 5 weeks later, 5 weeks into the 12 weeks, they pull it again. And then they go back and no, you've done it even worse now, we're gonna have to do this. If you're told something by a professional, that's someone that's trained in this specific thing, listen to them. They know best. Sort your form out. Form is paramount. Don't go for weight first. Sort your form out. If your form's good, then you will be safe. So, if you want to win a free shaker, you'll have to have got to this point in the video. So, props to you for that. Comment shaker on the video and you will be entered, and whoever comments on this, UK only, because I'm not paying to post this abroad, UK only, comment on this. Do I do UK only? We'll say worldwide, but if it's £100 shipping, I will redraw it. So anybody that's subscribed to my channel can comment on this. Obviously the one you get won't have protein in it. Comment on it, shaker, which shows me one of two things. Shows me that you are still watching it right towards the end. Shows me that you want a shaker, about pushing the brand. So yeah, comment shaker and I will put you in there. So that's my injuries, do's and don'ts. I feel like I've done all the points. I have all the points on my phone. Analysis, recovery, be reasonable, don't make it worse. Yeah, this one. So be reasonable and don't make it worse. If you've hurt your, I've got 7% battery and 3 minutes left on this SD card. And my point was, if you're like me, I'm reading this one. If you're like me and you can't train, meaning you need the gym, it's like part of your therapy, there are ways you can work around it. If you give a lower body an upper body, so if you've hurt your lower body, you pretty much can do lower body. If you've hurt your lower body, you can train upper body. Lower body. If you really hurt your back and you need to get back to training, then put things in place and facilitate things that will therefore mean you can get back quicker. Stretching, massages, or that kind of thing. There's different bits of training. Yeah, and that's the lesson. There are two different types of hurts. Two different types of training. If when you redo the movement and it's uncomfortable, that's okay. If you redo the movement and it's painful, that's not okay. So yeah, be reasonable. You can, if you've hurt a certain part of your body, you can still come and train at the gym, but you might have to recalculate your training. So yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe, comment, shaker. Go check out the merch. I'm twinning today. I've got, I can't see, tracky bottoms and t-shirt on today. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.